Hey, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another gameplay video. This time we've got Larry, fan favorite of the channel, on the left playing his Skilless deck. It is a red-yellow variant playing like the Chi-Chi Goku combo, so it's pretty nifty, pretty different build. And then I'm on the right playing Super Shenron, Height of Mastery. So we've just been playtesting for ARG Springfield, so you got a little bit of insight to our playtesting group here, which is kind of cool, I think. So yeah, you guys are gonna see some pretty competitive gameplay right here. I'm gonna go over the plays and see where we make the right plays, where we mess up, things like that. But real quick, guys, while we're doing the mulligans, if you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay updated with all awesome Dragon Ball Super content that I post here. If you guys are looking for a Dragon Ball Super community, check out the Discord in the description below. Amazing group of people down there. Answer any question you have. Great place for new players. And finally, guys, if you want to help support the channel, check out the Patreon in the description below. Lots of competitive content that I've been posting, and it's really helpful actually for ARG Springfield or any event you're coming up and going to anytime soon. So here we go with the gameplay. We're setting up the life. I kind of missed who's going first, but we'll check out in just 1 second who's going first. Larry's hand is looking a bit extra card heavy. My hand looks pretty solid. In the Skilless matchup, as a Super Shenron player, I do think you want a hard mull for Crisis Crusher. It's pretty beneficial that I did get it early. Larry opened the ball, so he got a little bit lucky there. And this is a little bit sped up because we know that Super Shenron takes stupidly long turns, so I did speed it up a little bit. But I do usually speed up the gameplay just to get the ball rolling, because there's a lot of downtime searching the deck and things like that, and I can still kind of stay on top of it. So looks like I'm gonna grab the grandpa out of the deck. So I grab the grandpa in a lot of instances. Honestly, I really do rely on the grandpa a lot, because especially if I'm going second, my opponent is going to be able to just attack me with more things more often, just because they're going to have that board that's going to be a little bit bigger than mine because they did go first and have the energy advantage. So I usually search the grandpa and just let my opponent do the damage to me, and then usually whenever I'm ready to do my skip turn, I usually have the ability to put myself down to 1 life, because when you do take the skip turn as Super Shenron, you do want to be able to kind of put yourself to 1 life, get all the resources you possibly can. And honestly, Source of Power is one of those cards that does that. Source of Power Son Goku is one of my favorite cards in the Super Shenron deck. It's just so good, and it helps you get down to that 1 life so you can get all the resources you need. So I am going to drop the preemptive Crisis Crusher just so next turn I can start committing to a board, right? I need to use that 1 energy for something. I'd rather get the Crisis Crusher down pack, because in this matchup, in the Skilless matchup, his 1 drops are very important. Now he drops the Chi-Chi, which does have barrier, so I can't interact with that with Crisis Crusher. So that's a pretty good play on Larry's part there. He does the yellow up in case he needs it. At this point, he's not very sure if he's playing against Skilless. If he's playing against the aggro variant or if he's playing against the height variant. So you guys might notice a little interesting little tech option here. I am playing the Super Dragon Ball. I think the Super Dragon Ball in the Super Shenron deck is incredibly good. It looks like I'm going to be able to awaken on turn 2 here, which in this deck, Super Dragon Ball on turn 2 is absolutely nuts. Especially if I hit the Bulma and the Child's Wish here, which I do hit the Bulma to the drop area. Looking at my hand, it doesn't quite look like I have Child's Wish, which is kind of unfortunate on my end. But I am still going to be able to make some plays here. So we've got just 6 Dragon Balls in the drop area. Sorry, miscount on my part. So I'm going to have to wait till next turn to awaken, which is totally fine though. We got a ton of cards in hand, and that means that we can pretty much defend whatever attacks we need to defend while still filling up the drop area, which is obviously important to Super Shenron's win condition, right? So off to a good start here. Definitely not going to be upset about that at all. So he is going to go in with his own Source of Power. He wants to definitely get to some awakened state to try and push me, push a lot of damage on me. Luckily, he's not too impacted by the Crisis Crusher here. He's in a combo with the Chi-Chi, which is the Chi-Chi is really plus. Gets a new body on board and draws a card, so it's basically a +1. Honestly, it's a lot better than I used to give the package credit for. And Larry is playing this to kind of take advantage of the Android 8. You just get free pluses, and then you can get to Android 8, and then you can combo away the Skilless Gokus for 10k combos and then blow up guys. It's pretty solid. So now Larry's going to get a draw off his leader effect. He's going to go for his second swing with Source of Power. I do have a dead Nimbus in my hand, which is like kind of unfortunate, but he's not very wide yet, so it's not too bad. And you guys might notice I'm playing the ever dependable Bulma super combo. In my opinion, it's the most relevant super combo, because sometimes there are 5 life instances where you really actually want to play some strong defense, especially if they're trying to put you from like 5 to 3. So that super combo is really relevant. Shout out to Danny Wynn for kind of giving me the idea for that. It was more actually an idea from one of you guys, the YouTube commenters. You guys gave the idea. Danny saw it. Danny told me. So shout out to you guys for being awesome and helping us out, because we learn from you just as much as you guys learn from us. So appreciate that. I'm going to search my last Dragon Ball now so I can finally awaken with Super Shenron. We've got 4 Child's Wish in the deck, so we hopefully have a decent shot of drawing one off these next few draws here. Because if I don't draw Child's Wish, I can't really make plays. It's been kind of unfortunate that I've been playing this deck a little bit, you know, just testing it, getting a feel for it for Springfield. Not sure if I'm going to play it yet, but yeah, so we're just going to pick up a Dragon Ball and play it. And yeah, I'm just not... I had some issues the past few nights of testing where I wasn't drawing Child's Wish or I wasn't drawing Bulma. Probably some bad luck. Hopefully I'm getting the bad luck out now before the event actually comes. And top 2 cards, yeah, we got the Child's Wish. That's exactly what we needed right there. Now we can start actually fueling up our drop area for our win condition. And yeah, it was a good thing I grabbed Grandpa early on because, yeah, Larry did do a bunch of damage to me. So now I don't have to necessarily keep cutting my own life to make plays, right? Seems pretty solid to me. Seems pretty solid to me. Now we'll get into the 2-drop Goku swap. We'll use the free effect of our leader to bring out Bulma. Untap that energy. Now we can keep swapping up the chain. We do want to end on... yeah, we do want to end on Path to Greatness this turn. We really, really do. So Bulma's going to go at the source of power. I just want to get another Bulma to drop area while threatening a threat. Yeah, guys, and this is kind of important too. Don't skip steps. Like, see how I'm, you know, tapping energy and untapping energy with my Bulma effect. Like, don't skip steps because you don't want to get rule sharked on your opponent saying, "Oh, you use your leader's free effect to do that, huh?" Because you didn't actually tap energy. So yeah, you don't want that to happen for sure. So we're gonna go 15 back at it again. Just get more Bulmas to the drop area, which is exactly what we want. He's gonna combo here, get rid of a ball because he probably just wants to recycle it next turn, get it back to his hand, almost like a free 5k combo essentially. He's just gonna get it back. He'll go Power Burst to save the source of power, seeming like, but he might take a life. Nope, he pays the energy, grabs the Kid Goku back. That was calculated by Larry, getting rid of the Kid Goku with a combo, and now just getting it back off Power Burst. That's efficiency right there. When you're playing Kid Goku, you have to be as efficient as possible with your play, and that was a very efficient play by Larry. So now if I want to clear that source of power, I do have to put my Path to Greatness in jeopardy, and I decide not to do that. So he does have a big threat on the board, but I do have Nimbus. He does have yellow, so he could potentially bad ring me. Doesn't look like he has it though. He's got his own several Nimbuses, which honestly are not going to do too much for him here, I don't think, because he is probably going to just get tapped out when I height him. He does know at this point that I am playing height, so I'm kind of surprised he actually doesn't charge the extra Nimbus in his hand. Kind of surprising, but we'll see what his game plan is here. I'm going to go for an Android 8. And looks like an unfortunate whiff. And I've just got a huge hand, and that's very, very much thanks to the Super Dragon Ball. Oh, so I dropped the dice by my drop area as well. So I believe I have 12 cards in drop area at that point. That's what I believe I use that to indicate. The little 2 dice indicating 12 in drop. So he's going to go Source of Power with the leader now. And Auto Nimbus. Auto Nimbus on the first attack. Just because it fuels our drop area for 1 and for 2. We just need to do everything we can to survive this turn. Because if we get to the next turn, our odds of winning are incredibly high. So Auto Nimbus on the first attack. He's got a leader swing and a source power swing. Unless he's got like some type of double Champa play, it doesn't really seem like he can actually end the game. So just going to keep plussing here. He's got the Kid Goku to grab another Dragon Ball. And now he's going to bring out the Mass Saiyan. So not the most high value Mass Saiyan I've ever seen, because he's only going to get rid of 1 guy on my board. He's going to choose the Crisis Crusher, which is an interesting pick. I mean, I already have a Bulma in the drop area and then 2 Bulmas on the board, so getting rid of 1 Bulma with the Mass Saiyan doesn't really do too much. But yeah, I guess it just gets rid of combo power so he can just try and threaten me, right? So it looks like Larry's debating on combos here. I'm going to go super combo and just get out of the attack really easily. Yeah, not too much of a point for Larry to attack my Bulmas because honestly the drop area is where I want them. And now that they're only 10Ks, they're not really threatening his leader without me wasting cards, so. Kid Goku's going to go in at the leader. Sorry, out of Bulma. So now it looks like I've got 16 in my drop area. Now it comes back to my turn. This is my win condition turn. This is my absolute win condition turn with Path going into height. I just need to play around a few things. I do need to play around like Nimbus Power Burst, because if Larry, so let's say I attack to try and fill up the graveyard more, right? If Larry has Nimbus Power Burst, he can actually just end my turn because I only have 2 attackers on board. And I do have the Child's Wish in hand, so I can generate another free attacker in terms of Bulma. So I pretty much am able to play around his Nimbus Power Burst, which is really helpful. But hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about when I say that Nimbus Power Burst would end my turn with only 2 attackers. If I wasn't able to generate another Bulma onto the board, I could have been in trouble to that play. But regardless, I was able to get there. So now I believe I have 18 in graveyard. A little too fast for me to count, but we'll see when I get to 20. So I'm going to go right into the Height of Mastery, because I don't want him to be able to Nimbus me on the height swing. I don't want him to be able to do any shenanigans to me. So yeah. And I also want to tap out the Kid Goku and the Android 8 so that he can't pop me mid-battle, right? So we're going to go Bulma into leader. Now at this point, I'm just trying to force him down to 3 life so that I can pretty much threaten with height several times. We're going to put that Source of Power in the drop area, another Bulma in the drop area, and now we're pretty much just fixing up our drop area. So I'm just comboing cards until I get to about probably 22 in drop. I want to get 22 in drop because when I activate my leader ulti as Super Shenron, I want to be able to leave certain cards in my drop area for Child's Wish on the following turn. So yeah, I believe this will be putting us at about 22. Yeah, this should be putting us about 22. I'll probably end up leaving a Source of Power and a Bulma in the drop area and activating my leader ulti after this. Really important for sequencing, guys, you do have to activate Path Swap usually before you activate your leader ulti, because you do need Sparking 7 to do that leader ulti. So don't forget that. You don't want to activate your leader ulti and then not be able to activate your path, because you will probably, you know, not be able to win that game, unfortunately. So Larry's kind of just thinking about what he wants to do here. He's got a 30k Bulma coming in as leader, so he would have to waste some cards to defend out of this. Now, he does want to stay at certain life totals just to be able to play around the height, I believe. So he's kind of just mathing in his head, I believe, what he's trying to do. So that's going to be a 25k combo because of his leader effect. 30, 35, yep. So he's going to get rid of the Source Power just in case I can answer it. I definitely agree with it because Larry has to survive this turn, and he can't afford to have any inefficiencies in his play right here. So he needs to get rid of that Source Power on the board so he can preserve the cards in his hand. He does have 2 super combos from the looks of it, so that's going to be pretty helpful. And I do exactly what I said I was going to do in terms of leaving the Source of Power and the Bulma in the drop area. I don't remember if I have a Dragon Radar in my hand, but if I have a Radar in my hand, if I can get access to more Child's Wishes, it's going to be pretty busted. It's going to be pretty busted. So Larry's going to take this shot down to 2 with the first height swing. Now I know he actually only has access to 1 more negate for the duration of the entire game, so now I can kind of take advantage of that knowledge. Not going to put any additional pressure on here. Just going to swing the height the second time, make him waste some cards to get out of it. Because next turn, from the looks of my hand, I think I'm going to get a pretty wide board. So he's at 35 already, so he's 5 more. There it is. Again, good play by Larry. Now when he power bursts, he can get the Kid Goku back. Pretty solid. So now here I am on my skip turn, coming up on 5 energy. I do have Radar, so I will be able to dig for some Child's Wishes. It's going to take a little bit of luck, I suppose. Yeah, when you do the skip turn, sometimes you might think you don't need to charge the additional energy. Just because, you know, 4 energy with a height on board seems like enough probably, but I usually always find that 5 energy is the perfect amount, especially because I can put myself, especially in this situation specifically, I can use a Bardock to get myself down to 3, and then I can bring back a Source of Power later to get myself down to 1 life, which is, like I said before, you want to get yourself to 1 life just to get all your resources through. So now Larry's drawing a bunch of power bursts, which is good and bad. It would have been better if he was able to stay at higher life total, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to. And there's the top 2 Child's Wish again, which is exactly what I needed to see. Yeah, and those first 2 turns of Super Shenron, they need to be 4 yellow energy, but my 5th energy could have been black if I had some like Dead Crisis Crusher in my hand, or maybe a Dead Radar, something like that. Just get another free Bulma. More pressure at the leader, make him waste cards now. This is the name of the game right here, making him waste cards. Absolutely the name of the game. So we're gonna untap 2 and draw 1. I rip right into a successor, just get some free combo power, right? Yeah, my play has changed a little bit because I was able to draw into a source of power in my hand. It would have been a bit different if I had to, you know, save the Child's Wish for the source of power in my drop area. But because I did draw into it, I was able to make my plays a little bit different, a little bit more plus, I guess you can say, by bringing back a Bulma from the drop instead of the source of power. Get a little more value off of that 2-drop Goku, right? So yeah, he's going to negate the first height swing, just get a little bit more combo power. But the source of power is pretty much going to seal the deal. I'm just going to get way too many cards for him to deal with. And Larry has a very, very much uncomboable hand. And yeah, that first source power swing is going to be enough to seal the deal. Unfortunately, Larry wasn't going to be able to combo out of it. Half of his hand, if not more of his hand, was pretty much uncomboable extra cards, which kind of is unfortunate. But yeah, Larry's deck's really cool. I mean, he's trying to abuse that Android 8, and if he can set up his board in a certain meticulous way, and especially if I don't hit Crisis Crusher, he can kind of interrupt the height swing because his Android 8 can immediately answer height as long as he's able to combo Goku away. But yeah, guys, that was some competitive gameplay. These are some decks you should expect to see at ARG Springfield if you're going, or any competitive events you might be going to soon. So let me know what you guys think about the gameplay down in the comments below. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Joey. This is Crossroad TCG, and I'll see you guys in the next video.